Ciao a tutti! Ciao a tutti! It's Kquinze's channel. Kumusta kayo? So in this video, I'm gonna show you the palette that I've created, in which I put in all of the eyeshadows that I want to finish up until the end of the year. I've chosen all of these eyeshadows from the different palettes that I have, and I really want to make some progress in them. They are either a little bit old or I have dupes for them. They are like very similar on all the other shades that I have. So let's start. I'm gonna show you my magnetic palette, which is the Makeup Forever palette. I chose this one because it is more compact and smaller than all of the palettes that I have. As you can see, let me show you. Alright, so these are all the shadows. I have different eyeshadows in here that I want to pan, and almost all of them I actually hit pan already. So let's start with the shadows on top. These three are from the Kquinze, the Alchemist Holographic palette. Okay, don't come for me. I know there are a lot of issues and drama surrounding Kquinze. Personally, I don't have any opinion on that. Well, I've never had a lot of Kquinze products. This is actually the first and probably the last product that I will ever own from the brand. Back in the day when she first arrived in Sephora, Italy, I was so excited. I wanted to try a lot of her products, but in the end I wasn't able to because I don't know, it's not a high-end price, but they are kind of like up there. They are not affordable at all. The only product that really wowed me when I first saw the product in store is this palette, which is a triangular white palette, which is, of course, the packaging is amazing. It is unique and it is really small and compact that you can travel with. I really think the packaging is genius. I've already decluttered the packaging a long time ago, and I transferred all these pans onto my MAC palette because the size of them are very similar to the single eyeshadows from MAC. That's why I was able to fit them in there. The holographic palette has 4 eyeshadows. Technically, they are not just eyeshadows. You can actually wear them on your face as well as a face highlighter, but these are colored highlighters, and I don't see myself using them as a face highlighter. To be honest, I've used them on some of my tutorials, but obviously not on an everyday basis. I prefer using them on my eyes. So this is the pink opal, the ultraviolet amethyst, and the emerald green. So I chose these 3 out of the 4. The blue one, I didn't include it in here because I don't have that shade in my collection. These 3, I have similar shades from the Urban Decay Distortion palette. The formula is bomb. I mean, they are actually really gorgeous, as you can see. Let me swatch them here. Right? Oh my gosh. I just think this palette needs a lot of love. That's why I chose to include them here in my mini palette for the year 2019. And then this one, this is an empty pan to which I transferred the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips. I've decluttered the packaging as well as the pan. I don't like the rectangular pan, that's why I transferred the product in here. Anyway, I really like the formula. This is more of like a drier formula. But as you can see, it is very pigmented. And to be honest with you, I will say this, that this is really hard to pick up using just a brush. And the only thing that you have to do is to pick this up with your finger. As you can see, it is really gorgeous. Now that this is here in this round pan, I am more keen into reaching for this product instead of having that on the rectangular one. Again, this is something that can be used also on your cheeks. If you have a dark skin tone, this is, I think, really nice. But of course, I cannot use that on my face. I prefer to use that on the eyes as well, just like the Kquinze product. These shadows are from the Naked Basics palette. I am very proud of this. I practically finished 4 of the 6 eyeshadows from that palette. It was a very well-loved palette. That was the first high-end palette that I've ever purchased when I started watching YouTube videos. It was very memorable. Those are neutral earth tones. That's why I finished them all up, because it was something that is for an everyday look. These two remain because I don't really like darker shades. I prefer the lighter ones. That's why I was able to finish up the 4 eyeshadows in there. As you can see, this brown, which is the faint color, has a small pan in there already. I always try using that for my outer corner to smudge my lower lash line. I practically also use that on my eyebrows as well. While this other one is Crave, which is the darkest brown, and actually this is the darkest here in this palette. So I think it would be useful to have something dark to use whenever I need one. I don't have to reach for any other palette. And then this big round pan right here. This is so embarrassing. Just don't judge me. These are the shadows from the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette. I already mentioned this in one of my videos. This was a very big mistake in my part because I love the Huda Beauty shadows, the formula, the shades. I really effed up. I decluttered the packaging. I wanted to transfer the square pans into my other palettes to mix them up to my neutrals, because I cannot use this alone. Like, I have to reach for other palettes just to be able to create a look. But I wasn't very careful. The majority of the eyeshadows got destroyed. I decluttered the packaging and the pans as well. The product I transferred in this large pan. I wanted to do a pizza pan, like all the shades in one pan, but got all mixed up. I still want to use this remaining shadows. Like, I have the red in here, the pink one, the purple one, the orange. So I really need to concentrate on this. If I'm not gonna finish this pan up until the end of the year, I'll just have to declutter. And then these 5 shadows in here are from the Lorac Pro palette, the original one. I chose these because these are my go-to everyday eyeshadows. As you can see, I've already hit pan on the champagne shade. I really love this one. And then this is the gold eyeshadow. And then this is the shadow called Pilter. Like, more of a bronzy shade. So I just want to show you right up in here. Right? This is more cool tone than the Physicians Formula eyeshadow. That's why I chose that one. They are kind of similar on the pan, but once you swatch them, they are very different. And then of course this too, again, I'm not a fan of dark shadows, but I included them here because I just want to have more choices. I don't want to stick up with just one dark eyeshadow. Maybe I would need like a dark purple or a cool tone dark gray. That's why I chose them. And because I'm not a fan of darker shades, I am really aiming into at least hit pan on them before I can practically declutter them from my collection. While these 8 eyeshadows I got from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. As you can see, I've hit pan on them already. I have the palette for a while now. I don't want to get rid of the palette without having to use all of the shades because it is a very well-loved palette. These shadows are more on a powdery side, but the pigmentation is amazing. I chose these 8 shadows. This is Tempera. So I love me a matte cream shade. And then I have here the Soft Ochre, which is on the yellow matte. and Bon Fresco, which is more of like pinkier matte, and Warm Taupe. That is perfect. As you can see, I don't have an eye crease. I always try to create my own crease. That's why I really need that shadow. Raw Sienna, Burnt Orange, Primavera, and Venetian Red. So these two are also matte. I don't have like a brownish orange shade in here. That's why I included them. This one is gorgeous, like as you can see. I love this that I can put on all over my lid. And then of course the Venetian Red. This is practically the pop of color in this palette because these are all neutrals. And then this one and all of the Huda Beauty shadows are the colored ones that I can kind of reach for when I want something colorful. So that's it. I am pretty positive. I really do feel that I would be able to get a good use out of this. Of course, I will try to update you during the year, and then we will discuss this again at the finale, which is in December. So that is my personal palette. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you do, please give this a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and of course just ring the bell if you want to be notified if I have new videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you on my next video. Ciao! Ciao a tutti! It's Kquinze's channel. Kumusta kayo? I'm back from my short trip from Calabria, which is on the south of Italy. If you want to check out my vlog, please do. I will have all the link of the videos down below. So before the month of August ends, I want to update you on what is happening on my eyeshadow basket for the year 2019. Here it is. This is my Makeup Forever palette. And I want to show you what happened on the eyeshadows. So these are all the shadows that I chose to pan. And I'm really proud of my progress. As you can see, I have a lot of pans in all of the shades, especially these eyeshadows from the Modern Renaissance palette. Another thing that I also want to note is that I added this shade, which was Real Gar. This one I've already finished up, that's why I added this one. I'm almost done with this shade, which is Vermeer. No, that is not Vermeer. And this is the huge pan of all the shadows from the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette. I must say that I'm having a hard time using these shades because they are all mixed up. And the thing is, I already hit pan on this fuchsia shade right here, and I'm still trying to use it more because I'm not using a lot of these colors on an everyday basis. That's why I kind of neglected this pan altogether. But all of the other neutral shades in here are always useful for me. I also hit pan on this shade from the Kat Von D Alchemist palette, which was, can't remember the name, which is the pink one. I am really proud of this. I didn't have this pan at the beginning of my project. And also the green one. This one is a little bit crumbled, but as you can see, if the camera will show, there's a tiny pan in there, and I am wearing it right now. Actually, here at the inner corner of my eyes and on the half part of my lid as well. That is a really gorgeous color. The purple one, I am not really reaching for it as much as these two, but I'm still trying. This one is from the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips, but for some reason, I don't reach for this shade that much. I already had that pan right from the beginning. These two are the shadows from the Naked Basics palette. I used these two shades For my brows, these 5 eyeshadows right here at the middle are from the Lorac Pro palette, original one. I've hit pan on this glitter shade right here. I love that shade. It's glittery but very subtle. Although it's kind of hard to use it because you will expect all outs. Nonetheless, it is gorgeous. This one, there's a tiny bit of a pan right there at the center. I also love this shade. This is very neutral. You can just use it alone and you're good to go. And these 3, like what I always say, I always have a hard time using dark shades. I'm not a fan of like the blacks, the dark browns, because I have very small eyes. But I'm trying. Like this dark purple one, as you can see, I use it a lot. What the hell is this? Arrgh! How can I film with this Mosca? Okay, so that is my update. I will be doing updates on the following months, and of course the final result will be seen at the end of the year. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on my next update. Ciao! Ciao a tutti, it's Kquinze's channel. Kumusta kayo? I know I promised that the finale would come up at the end of the year in December, but I can't wait any longer. I just am so ready to move on, and I'm so happy with the result of this basket that I can't wait to share it with you. With the holiday season fast approaching, I just want to be free and concentrate more with the other eyeshadows that I own and that I've put aside so as to work on this basket. And finally, I just thought this is gonna be the end. I'm calling it a day. I've been working on this since May and I've enjoyed it a lot. It's been tough but satisfying at the same time. This is my Makeup Forever magnetic palette in which I've kept all of the eyeshadows that I chose to pan. This has been my go-to palette for exactly 7 months. Oh my gosh, how quickly time passed by. And as you may see, I've hit a lot of pans in almost all of the eyeshadows. These eyeshadows from ABH Modern Renaissance palette has to go. I'm just gonna leave it like that. They are not gonna stay until 2020. I never expected that I would finish up this eyeshadow right here, Raw Sienna. I already told you on my last update, I added Real Gar in this basket to replace Raw Sienna. Same with Primavera, which is pretty much done, and I replaced it with Cypress Umber. I actually hit a tiny pan on Cypress Umber, and you will see the dent of both these eyeshadows. I'm gonna bring them in until next year to work on them more. Out of the 5 eyeshadows from the Lorac Pro, I've hit pan on Champagne and Gold. I reach for these 2 very often. I've had a small pan on Champagne since the beginning, and as I go along, it became bigger. Gold was very much intact when I first began this basket, and now look at that fabulous pan right there. I have the same shades in my collection, so I'm letting go of both these 2, while the other 3 dark eyeshadows, Powder, Deep Purple, and Slate, will still remain in my collection. This has been always so hard for me. I told you a million times in all of my other videos that I don't like dark eye products, not only eyeshadows, but eyeliners and eye pencils as well. This has always been an issue for me because of my eye shape. I tried my best with these 3 eyeshadows. I practically am able to create dents. You will see that I dipped my brush in them, but it just wasn't enough to create a pan. Let's go to the top row right here. I have 3 shadows from the Alchemist palette and 1 from Physicians Formula. You will see that this has been used up and beat up, and this is also the reason why I can film in front of the camera. If I hold the palette vertically, these bits of emerald green would be everywhere. It's been broken right from the start, and this is the reason why I hit a large pan on that. It became easier and it permits my brush to pick a lot of the product. I'm not a fan of pinks and purples, and I'm kind of shocked I actually hit pan on pink opal. I went from no pan at the beginning to a pan, and it is such an achievement. I loved it as a topper with real gar. Oh my gosh, the combination is just gorgeous. While I had a hard time with ultraviolet, so out of these three, I'm still gonna keep it until next year, while the other two has to go. This one from Physicians Formula, I have this for years now, and I really need to get rid of this. To be honest with you, right at the beginning, I didn't even touch it ever, and I told you that on my update. But just until recently, this past couple of months, I came to like it a lot. The pigmentation is still there even though I have it for so long now. It is a drier formula, so you will appreciate it more if you use your finger instead of a brush. I like pairing this with emerald green as a topper. It is so beautiful. I hit pan and it started to make a mess. So yeah, I'm really happy I came to enjoy this eyeshadow. Sometimes when I don't feel like putting a lot of effort on my eyeshadow, I just apply this all over my lids and I was done and good. Being a brown neutral shade, this is perfect for an everyday work makeup. Speaking of earth neutral tones, I am also gonna declutter these two from the Naked Basics palette. Y'all know I was so proud of myself. I practically finished the other 4 eyeshadows from that palette. It was gorgeous, perfect for everyday look. These two remain being the dark eyeshadows, and I think they've done their part. I hit an even more huge pan on Faint compared to when I first started the basket. Although I didn't have a pan on Crave, I truly enjoyed using this on my brows. This large pan are the shadows from the Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions palette. I never touched it again since my last update. It was really sad about what happened when the eyeshadows got destroyed and mixed up during the depotting process. I did choose these because I wanted to incorporate colors with the neutrals so that I will reach for them more. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. I did use the fuchsia and red a little bit more when I was filming, but for an everyday look, it's just not the ideal. But this won't take away the beauty of this colorful palette. It is so lovely, and that was the main reason why I picked it up in the first place, because I didn't have a lot of colors in my collection. Unfortunately, it has to go because I know I won't ever use them again. So that's it. Now I can be at peace with myself. I was able to get the value of my money from these eyeshadows. They got the love they truly deserve during these past 7 months. And now I am ready for my other eyeshadows for the year 2020. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please give this a thumbs up if you did, and I recommend you to subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this in the future. Ring the notification bell so you will be notified of my new videos. Thank you so much. I will never get tired of thanking you all. Grazie, maraming salamat. I'll see you on my next video. Ciao!